so just inside the automotive shop, here's the totes that I picked up yesterday, and in here is the bolt bin room. It's mainly, you know, we've got oils and we've got every nut and bolt you can imagine, and same with here. So most of the stuff out in this area is organized and you know, just supplies that we use on a daily basis. Nothing we need to really worry about going through at this point. All this stuff will just get moved to pretty much the day we move. So we'll just load it in totes and away we go. But you turn around this corner and this is where things get a little ugly. So we have all this stock got from one of our ex-employees that used to sell this stuff. So we've got boxes of this stuff everywhere. And then around the corner here, just a pile of not junk, but junk. We save things so we can use them. But if they're organized like this, there's no time to find them, right? So, you know, we've got fuses, we've got lug nuts, we've got bulbs, and tons of bulbs. And we order bulbs every day. But most likely we have them here, right? So getting things a little more organized this way will be better. So like all these lug nuts and whatnot. And in the new location, we're gonna have the what we call the hot rod shop and this automotive shop all together. We have double of all of this nut and bolt system here. Everything we have here, we have down at the hot rod shop, as well as more. Basically all these bins, or at least this many bins, will be available to organize more stuff like this. So the vision will be all these bulbs will be organized and part numbered in bins like this, as well as the screws. So when you walk in, you're not looking at a box, you're looking at the actual screws in the hole. So that's what the plan is. So we need to get in here and, like I said, try and organize it into totes how it makes sense. So you'd pull it out of that tote and most likely it would all go in the same bin when it gets organized, you know. So there's all sorts of things in here. And like for garage sale's sake or whatever, we have stuff like right here is a leveling kit, right? We removed that from a person's truck when we did either a lift kit or whatever. We have wheel spacers that we used for a car show or for mock-up or something that are brand new, but we still have them here. They're unboxed, and then on and on. So lots of stuff back here. Some of it may be garbage, some of it may just need to be organized. Yeah, so I'm gonna start going through a lot of this stuff and get it into these bins and kind of get it out of our way. It's not a really big job to move out of this shop. You know, the biggest things in here to move are the hoists, and the hoist guys can come in and knock out probably, it would be the drive on would probably be a remove and install over like a day and a half. But the 2-post hoist, they can probably pull down 2 of these, fully install them in one day. So, you know, as for hoist, I only see, you know, 2.5, 3 days max of work for them. As soon as we can get in there, we'll move a couple of them so it's not all on the last day. And then from then, it's just, you know, parts off our air system. We're gonna leave the blue piping in. It's not really worth the value to spend the time removing it all. And then I think if you disconnect all these fittings, you're probably gonna need all new O-rings. To me, it just seems more economical to leave it and not take it out. The next guys, no matter what they do in this shop, I think is gonna need some air. So we'll take our hose reels and our fittings off of the ends, because the expensive parts of an air system are right here, which these are like somewhere between $60 and $80. I don't know where the new price is, right? So we'll obviously take our fittings and our expensive stuff, but we'll leave the air system. The sound system's just a few speakers I'll have to pull down, and then the TVs and stuff like that, we'll leave the mounts. And yeah, there's not a lot. Like, aside from the hoist with a couple of people, I think I can move out of this shop in a day. It's not a lot of work, other than getting this stuff prepared that I need to do now. So we've kept things fairly organized in here. And then of course our storage shops off-site help with that. We don't keep the clutter here, so there's not a lot to deal with. Of course we have our jet wash and benches over in here and in here. But again, sorry, it's pretty dark in here, but it's not a lot. A couple of guys can move this whole area in a few hours. So it's more preparation than anything of the small individual items. Even the bolt bins, you just slide them out on carts, load them on a car trailer, the forklift, and they're gone. So a couple of few guys and it'll happen real quick. But the things that can't happen real quick is making decisions on stuff like this, what to keep, what to throw away, where to put it. So that's where I'll make the decisions. Again, these cabinets, they should have light bulbs and organization in them, and it's literally just junk, but it's valuable junk. That's why we don't throw it away. You know, we have we took an MSD box out and it's attested. So really that's a tool at this point. We save it because you get a car in, you can diagnose wiring, or you can just quickly throw that in, and if it fixes the problem, you know it's the the box, right? So having that box is more of a tool. It should really be in a toolbox, not just thrown in a cupboard here. You know, 57, 56 Bel Air or so, battery hold down, you know, just random things. And, you know, it could save somebody time and money one day, but at this point, it's going to be losing us time and money by dealing with it. So that's why, like I said, I'm going to go through it all. And I think this side's a little better. This is containers of small bits and pieces, vacuum caps and grease fittings, cotter pins, and random kits that we get off of like maybe Amazon with brake fittings, and there's all the different bleeders you can get, and a bunch of little springs, you know. So that's all stuff we need to keep, and it's somewhat disorganized, organized. You know, we have some firewall grommets. This stuff is all supposed to be in inventory. If it's just out like this, then technicians end up just kind of using it as shop supply. So that's a big part of what's going to change in the new shop. Is all parts that aren't shop supplies will be upstairs behind a desk where you have to get it from a parts person, because we've lost tens of thousands of dollars in oils and fluids and parts and pieces that are in this room because we don't have the storage space for it elsewhere. We're at the new shop. I think we have 4,000 square feet upstairs just for this stuff. So nothing on the main floor will be down there unless it's a shop supply. And even then, these shop supplies will probably be upstairs, so we don't lose square footage on the paved floor or the concrete floor. So anyway, I will get a time lapse going here and start moving some bins around and getting through some stuff. Just had to go get my camera gear to swap out the battery in the time-lapse camera, but thought I would do a quick walk around. So here I got spare gasket kits, miscellaneous electrical, a whole bunch of bulbs and fuses, and a whole bunch of bulbs all organized in totes, ready to go. Found under the stairs leftover shop air supplies from when we plumbed this building 5 years ago. Some spare vintage air stuff down at the detail storage mezzanine. We have bins like this. We save all the leftover vintage air parts just for future things. I've discovered a whole pile of lug nuts that haven't been organized properly. Just ordered a couple grabbed out of bags, and then some used ones, of course. So we'll get that organized when we move, but at least it's all in one place. Whole bunch of hard air line, and then all our leftover plug wire bits. We save all those because we've saved so many people having to buy a whole new kit, or they come by with a misfire and we're able to just make them up a wire quickly or test with them or whatnot. So we save all those, so that adds up. Leftover kit of American Auto wire, we have a bin for that as well, because that's all wire that has the name of what the wire is for written on the wire every couple of inches. So we like to save that for when we do a repair on a car. If it's a water temperature sender wire, we have wire that literally says that on it, so it's nice to use that. And here we have a pile of rivets. So I just got that bin put together, and yeah, been working back here. This was just loaded with all that stuff that I just showed you. So getting through a bunch of it. I got a bin out there for garage sale, things like that. So just working through it. Getting pretty close in here, honestly, so that's good. But, you know, with all that stuff packed away, I found a ton of electrical connectors. I just noticed, you know, somebody ordered a bunch of electrical connectors, and I think I found almost all of these in stock within those bins. With electrical supplies, I have a box somebody's ordered in a bunch there, a ton back there, and that's the problem with having a bunch of inventory is if you don't have it organized, you're just going to keep buying it anyway, so you may as well not have that inventory. So moving into the new location is going to give us a really good reset on this. Every couple of years I kind of go through rooms like this and get it organized, but the last 2-3 years I haven't had time to, so making time to do this now is good. So I have a few things to organize back there, but there's not enough of it pertaining what it is to fill up a bin. So at this point I'm going to leave it and then move on to these other bins. And then we do have more boxes of this stuff down at the hot rod shop, like these rivets and screws and stuff. So as we find more of it to make a big enough bin for it, then I might worry about it then, but at least we've got a good start on it. So I have the top of that shelf to finish. I jumped to the rivets that were on the bottom shelf because I had some on the top shelf. And now that I'm done with rivets, I'm going to package that up and start looking at what's up top. Get that organized. well, that's a wrap for Sunday. Basically got that whole back room ready to go. Other than stuff we'll just pack up and move all at once, because it's all stuff that definitely will be moving over immediately, not going to storage, not going for sale, anything like that. So yeah, pretty much it for inside the shop for right away. Now tomorrow, as long as it's not pouring rain, but even if it is, I'll probably still come. But the next is going to be the out back storage here. Like, we have some storage area at the automotive shop, and there's a lot of things in there, so I need to go through a lot of stuff, figure out what's going to be garage sale items versus move to new location versus move to off-site storage. Anything we don't need definitely right away, we'll go to just off-site storage to get it out of our way, so we don't have to move it twice right now. So I'll probably just start loading trucks with stuff like that tomorrow if it's not raining. Otherwise, I'll just pick through a bunch of the stuff tomorrow and go from there. So that's pretty much it. Gonna head home, get ready, and head over to Leah's for Thanksgiving dinner. So that'll be about it for today, Sunday's footage. So we will see you tomorrow. Thank you. All right, good morning and happy Thanksgiving. Monday morning, just heading into the shop, going to do more organization and cleanup. Stat holiday here in Canada today, so not sure if I'll be just organizing things there or if I'll be loading some things up and moving them. With this weather, it wouldn't be a bad idea. I can haul things in the truck without it getting wet. Instead of moving things around out of my way, just load them right into a truck and to storage. Certain things obviously won't be able to move myself. I can have some things ready and we can move tomorrow. Anyway, bye for now. Just down at the shop here, gonna get going. In the background, not sure if you can hear these doors rattling, but that's one thing I'm not gonna miss about this shop. These fire safety doors that were installed because of the doors going into the laneway are just a nightmare when it's windy out. So they just rattle, rattle, rattle. And they let a lot of cold in and a lot of heat in. Hard to keep this place heated and cool in the summer. So anyway, that is gonna be a blessing not having those doors any longer. So anyway, let's go. This is what we've got done yesterday. So lots of ugly handwriting here, but as you can see, I've got lots of different totes organized. I got stuff for garage sale down there. I've got a ton of new, oh, that's not it there, but somewhere here there's a bin with new parts. So I found a ton of new stuff over there, top left. New parts for stock. So probably $1,000 worth of inventory that was just kind of hiding out back here. So it wasn't probably in inventory, was just stuff kind of hidden out back here. So I've cleaned this all up pretty good here. Not much left to worry about now. A few little exhaust things and some axle bracket type parts that we have laying around. Not really anything I'm going to inventory. And then just some random engine stuff I found. Some screw and rocker studs. Some posi lock nuts for rockers. And some push rods. These look like they might be head bolts from something. And some frost plugs, so I'll get a container going for that. Not sure if it's going to require a full tote yet, but I do have a couple of these little containers I found yesterday that I've emptied out, so I'll get things like that organized and we'll see how much further we go. And then the rad hoses and stuff we're still going to be using for the next month or so in this shop. So again, just trying to get as prepared as possible without making more work for guys to have to look for things over the next little while. So that's about that. So just gonna put this box back here, and I think that's gonna be about it for in here until we move. But going to get out to the shed out back and start getting organized there. So we'll see you out there. All right, out back here. The lighting sucks in here, but we'll do a quick little walk around anyway, show what we got going on. So this is one of the storage sheds. Yeah, so we got an engine, I think that's out of the Challenger that we just sold the Dart motor to. So we'll have to find out what he wants to do with his original engine. This is out of Heather's race car. It ended her season last year. It needs gone through, so we'll have to get that on an engine stand. Looking at that, we have the engine out of our shop truck. The camshaft went in that, so we put a lower mileage one in it and did the complete delete on, but this is still a good aluminum block 5.3 that we could do a delete on and freshen up and put into a hot rod maybe one day. Some new air system for the new shop sitting here. This is the engine out of the Challenger that we just did a 6.4 swap into, and transmission. So again, got to see what the customer wants to do. I think he just wants to sell it, so I'll have to get some numbers from him on that. Coolers and stuff, we use these for our Christmas party every year, so that's the type of stuff I'm going to move to storage today because we don't need it anywhere until December, so there's no point in moving it around a whole bunch. This is some leftover slat board that I was ready to install into the showroom here, but decided just to finish it off with grid wall as it was easier to just get up and get going for me. So we got a couple sheets here, so those will go into storage as well as our Coke cooler. And then back here, again, the lighting sucks in here, but we have a small block Chevy out of I think the El Camino, good running, and it's an old like Good Wrench 350, so that's usually a high nickel block. Over here we got a 350 out of a Corvette that we did a while back. I think it was a 73. It had the thrust bearings were gone in the crank. Otherwise it was a good running engine. We've used it as an actual mock-up block a few times now to build headers. We actually used it to build the headers for the 34. And back there is the 240 engine. That needs to get to storage until that car is ready to go back together, and his exhaust and parts and pieces. And here is just a shelf full of spare transmission parts. Again, we don't need that stuff on site. All of this stuff can just end up down at one of our storage shops. And once we get into the new shop, we will bring it all back and inventory it. So we know what we have for good used stuff. It comes in handy building transmissions to have the used parts. Some stuff is impossible to get these days. So yeah, so a lot of this stuff is stuff I just need to go through and figure out what's what. So yeah, this is how we normally stock or put our stuff. So with Heather's race car, everything from her race cars here in totes, organized that way. So again, this can go right to off-site storage for now until her car is ready to go back together, probably early spring. And then over here it's blocked by a bunch of this stuff, but it's just stuff that I couldn't come to, throw away. It's leftover parts. Some of it is new parts, ordered wrong. The vehicle's specific. So if it's vehicle specific, I put it out here because it's not like a hot rod part that we'd be selling easily. So this whole shelf behind this wood and desk and everything here is parts like that. And then we got some cool old intakes and stuff. So a lot of things that we can sell if we have a garage sale here. So that's what I'm trying to get to. So that's what I'm gonna do. I've been down into this one on camera anyway, so just down at the off-site storage, and I'll be unloading some of the stuff that obviously we're not selling, but then a lot of the stuff that's in here I'm gonna load back up and take, because it's all stuff that could be garage sale stuff. Leftover disc brake kits we've changed out. We've got dash bezels, LS water pumps, old car stereos, quadra carburetors, all sorts of stuff. A few vehicles in here waiting for more interior parts for this Camaro. The Jurassic Park Jeep is good to go. It's just they don't have room as they're doing some renovations at the movie car garage. They're actually making it bigger because they need more space. So that's still sitting here. The Packard's down here waiting for Lyle to have some time to do the upholstery on it. Still waiting on some parts for this 66 Impala, unfortunately. They're not as popular as a 65 and older, so parts are a little harder to get. Waiting on a fuel setting unit for this cool Chevy truck. Can't remember what we're waiting for on Dale's car, but it's just down here. He didn't want it while we were waiting for parts, so it's there. The Volkswagen's still just here for storage. The Bronco, I think we're just waiting for some parts. And the shop race car, well, we haven't done anything with it for a few years. Kevin's F100 is still waiting to get finished painted. And then the burnout car, well, we gotta fix that up one day. And then a Buick. We also have to make that into a Back to the Future replica car, deep cut car. So anyway, a little bit of room down here, which is good. So going to open up the doors here and load in some stuff. Get back to what I was starting here today. Good morning. It is Wednesday the 15th. Yeah, November 15th. Sorry, October. And anyway, just got the F450 today. I need to pick up the stacker and bring it to the shop, check the brakes out before Kevin and Brandon do a trip to LA. They're doing a Back to the Future. I guess there's a big thing going on for the 40th anniversary of Back to the Future. So they're heading out there with the time machine and the Biff truck. So the Biff truck and the stacker are coming to the shop for some maintenance this week. But I'm just meeting Craig from McQueen Systems here this morning to look at the compound here at Hot Rods and Classics. So as you can see out front, the original Hot Rods sign is gone. They've got their new one up, which is just on the far side, showing that they are around back. So we need to get our drawings together soon for that. Yeah, in the back here, we're doing up a compound. So I got thrown off because there's a door and window guy here. I don't think I have anybody meeting me here, but anyway, so in the back here, at the corner of the building, from that corner of the building to the fence over there, we're gating that off. And then at the other end of the parking lot here is getting gated off as well, and right where those pallets are. So I'm just meeting Craig here. He has some guys for building some of this stuff, and we don't want it to just be fences like chain link. We want it to be walled off to look like the building or like the compound beside us here. So yeah, that's what's happening this morning. So down here we have one bay door into our space immediately here on the right, and then that pipe coming out of the wall is a heater, so we're not going to do a bay door there. That'll be our fab department. And then right next to it here and further down here will be bay doors getting into the shop. So it'll be a little tight with this curb on the left with these big vehicles, but it will be fine for your normal everyday vehicles. And then Hot Rods and Classics, this is where they are sticking it out down here at this end. So yeah, that's about it. Just gonna pull back up front and check my emails while I wait for Craig here. So we'll see you guys soon. All right, just brought Jim out to one of the storage shops to pick up this Chevelle. We're doing a roof skin on it. Somebody removed the vinyl top at one point of the car's life and just put filler over all the rust pits, and of course the whole roof is bubbling, but the rest of the car seems pretty solid and nice. So yeah, we just got the roof skin in. It took a week or so to get, but now we have it. So it's coming out of storage and going down to the body shop to get the roof cut off and replaced. And that's one of the biggest reasons why we have these storage shops, because when a customer drops something like this off, they don't want to take it home for the week or two or month or whatever while we're waiting for stuff. So having that space makes it a lot easier for us and the customers. So it's a nice day, it's a nice car, so I thought I'd show you the car. Talk to you soon.